Grace Lutheran Ministries, why do they matter? Yes, all those kids sharing the faith with all of them from all over. What about those youth gatherings where the kids get to go and be with other youth from around the country and doing service for others, learning how to spread their faith, having fun with those other kids, and enjoying the faith that is? What about all those subs and getting to make all the subs and deliver them so that the kids can go on these youth gatherings? What about all the other youth events that we get to have and the kids get to enjoy? And what about Service Sunday, where we get to be evangelists and go out into the world to share God's love? Where will your money be used to help Grace Ministries?
Okay, our basic reason for doing our quilting is to keep people warm, to give them some comfort. But we have many other reasons we like to quilt. We have a lot of fellowship, we have a lot of fun, and we get to know each other well. It's a service to us as well as to other people. And loving the time we spend together and the joy we put in each quilt is very worthwhile to all of us. Yeah.
Pastor Brooke was my first confirmation teacher, and she's really helped me understand the books of the Bible and helped me grow in my faith. She took us to a youth gathering in November, and that was very fun. We got to listen to a band play, and it helped us learn more about the books of the Bible and help us understand some different passages in it.
When I was in 3rd through 6th grade, I went to Shores of St. Andrew and Green Lake Bible Camp. It helped me become closer to God and also have fun at the same time. It was a great experience and helped me grow in my faith.
Release time is important to me because God is with me more and more. I like release time. You get to do crafts and learn a lot about God and be with my friends.
Pastor John Dahl shares these words. Specifically, the Church of Grace Lutheran is a great internship site in that intern pastors get to experience the full gamut of pastoral ministry while there. Pastor Kendall is an outstanding mentor pastor person who leads with a level head and passionate heart. He doesn't get too high, too low with what unfolds around him in ministry, but instead trusts in God and the worship of God's Spirit to be about what needs to be done in the context of Grace Lutheran and the Dawson area. Pastor Kendall faithfully follows that spirit and then creatively helps people to ponder, learn, grow in their faith that is lived every day. The people of Grace are very supportive of their staff and one another. Together they have created quite a ministry when it comes to growing leaders for the ELCA. They should be proud of their work.
Pastor Lori shares the following. An integral part of the journey to become ordained in the ELCA is internship. Each candidate is required to complete 12 months of full-time internship under the supervision of an experienced pastor. Its purpose is twofold. It is meant to help with vocational skill development and assist with pastoral formation. Two questions that were and continue to be helpful for me to ask are, what is it that I need to know and what skills do I have or need to acquire for this job called pastoral ministry? And in my experience, this continues to change. How do I see myself and how do others see me as a pastor? And how and where do I offer pastoral care? The folks at Grace Lutheran Church offer candidates for ordained ministry a great opportunity to wrestle with these questions in a contextual setting through their willingness to be part of the internship program. During my time at Grace, with the help of staff and congregation members, my perception of ministry was greatly enhanced. I learned to listen more intently. I learned to empathize more deeply. I learned to teach more effectively. I learned how to spiritually nurture new and not so new relationships with folks. Without a doubt, my internship experience at Grace helped to shape who I am today in a positive way, not only as a pastor, but as a friend, co-worker, and family member. Grace was an excellent teaching congregation for me. They offered me great support as I tried new things. They offered encouragement as they identified vocational skills and growth areas. They extended grace and patience to me. I grew to love the people of Grace as they became my family. I truly am blessed that I live nearby so that I can continue to enjoy their friendship. Love, love, love Grace. Pastor Lindsay shares this. I was reminded once again of the Grace community of wonderful people recently when the Agape Singers made a stop at the congregation I currently serve. It's been 6 years. 6 years. That's crazy. Since I've been with you. But in seeing former co-workers, friends, and kids who were tiny elementary schoolers when I was in Dawson, I felt again the energy, love, and positivity Grace exudes. When I was an intern at Grace, I was supported, so encouraged, and learned so much about being a pastor. Those affirmations of Grace Internship Program can be put in the present tense too, through social media, email, and the like. I still feel supported and encouraged by the people of Grace. You have been and continue to be some of my biggest cheerleaders in ministry, and for that I am ever so grateful. Where would I be without my internship experience at Grace? I don't like to think about it, but I know this. Had my internship experience been elsewhere, my gnome collection would certainly be much smaller. I don't like to think about that either. Pastor Keith Long shares this about Grace Internship Program. What many people may not realize is that the support interns receive during internship continues after internship concludes. There have been at least a half dozen of instances when I have personally called in for advice, prayer, and pastoral wisdom from Pastor Kendall. I am deeply grateful and indebted for his friendship and collegiality, both during internship and after, and I suspect other interns have experienced similar support. The Grace Lutheran Internship Program truly is shaping and sustaining leaders for the long haul. The congregation helps form us over the course of the year. We're there, and this ministry has no doubt shown to be invaluable for my own ministry now as an ordained pastor. No words or lemons consumed or belly flops flopped can accurately describe how important and vital the internship program at Grace is for the life of the church and ultimately the work of Jesus Christ in and for the sake of the world. Your commitment, both financially and prayerfully, is worth every ounce of generosity. Thank you.
John Guthridge shares, one of the most obvious ways I benefited from my internship at Grace was in the wealth of preaching experience. Whether it was a Sunday worship, Wednesday services, Tuesday communion, care center services, communion at the apartments, funerals, or filling in at one of the other churches in the area, preaching opportunities at Grace were not hard to come by. As a solo pastor who also doubles as office administrator, that kind of experience, with a quick turnaround between sermons, has been invaluable. It's amazing how quickly the week can fly by, and suddenly you're in need of a sermon. Grace prepared me well for that. Another benefit of my internship at Grace was the way I got to do a little bit of everything. It still surprises me just how many different hats a pastor wears throughout the week, especially in a church the size of Emmanuel. I really do need to know something about everything that goes on. No class at seminary prepared me for that, as well as my year at Grace. Next week, I will have 1 year under my belt as pastor here at Emmanuel. Even though I've now been here longer than I was at Grace, I still find myself drawing on my time in Dawson as I consider the way that God is calling this particular congregation to be church in this particular community. The interconnection and overlap between the community of Grace and the community of Dawson is something special, and it inspires me to find ways to further those sorts of connections here at Emmanuel.
Hey Grace Lutheran, it's Pastor Ryan. I was asked to share just a little bit about my internship experience and how it shaped my future ministry, my future first call. For those of you who don't know, I'm currently serving in Lemoore, North Dakota. That's part of the Eastern North Dakota Synod. And I serve two churches out here, Zora Lutheran Church and St. Ansgar Lutheran Church. And it's been just a fantastic experience. I absolutely love it. I enjoy the ministry, and I enjoy working with the people here. Um, and I really think a lot of that, the credit for that goes to my internship experience. Grace Lutheran is a church that understands its ministry as, or part of its ministry as raising up future leaders in the church, supporting them and encouraging them and loving them, and really, and even challenging them to grow and to learn what does it mean to be a pastor. And that was really my experience. I felt like I was challenged. I felt like I grew a lot from the beginning of my internship to the end of my internship. And I really kind of came into my own and really began to understand my own pastoral identity and where am I called into this church. And so thank you. That's all I can really say is thank you to the congregation for your love and your support and your encouragement. Um, Thank you to the staff at Grace Lutheran Church. Pastor Kendall is a fantastic supervisor, top notch. I don't think there is a better one out there than Pastor Kendall. And no, he didn't pay me to say that, but it's true. Pastor Kendall does some amazing things with the interns, and I can't thank him enough for all he's done and continues to do. He's kind of a mentor for me. Emily, thank you. Tammy, Karen, Jesse, and Keith. Of course, I can't forget Keith. Uh, Keith and I were like that, right? No, it was all just an amazing experience, and I'm so blessed to have been given the opportunity to work with each of you. And I can't really thank you enough for all that you've done for me.
I'm so grateful that Grace supports the internship program and has welcomed so many interns out here to Dawson. Grace is truly a welcoming community and a teaching community as well. I've learned so much in my short time here that has gone by way too fast. But I thank God and I thank the people of Grace for every opportunity I've had. This internship has given me a chance to be out in the field of ministry and really learn kind of where my passions are, and as well as where my growth edges are, where my weaknesses are, where I can continue to work before I get a call into ordained ministry. I thank Grace for this, and I know that this opportunity would not be possible without the great support that the Grace people have for this internship program. I know it may not always be easy to accept a new person every year into your lives, but you guys truly do embrace it, and I thank you all for that wonderful embracement. These are just an overview of some of the ministries that Grace provides. Please feel free to ask about the other ministries as well as how you can continue to support the wonderful ministries of Grace Lutheran Church and how you can keep those ministries going.